Good morning. Welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. I'm sitting here. It's a beautiful morning, an Indian summer. That's my favorite season. We don't get them every year. We get fall every year, but we don't get Indian summer every year. And I forget how they characterize it. It's a period of kind of warm, dry, hazy time, and sometime it can last a long time. It's set in this year, and I hope it does. Today I was going to follow up on the last one and talk about how we fight. But something popped up to me last night on Breitbart that I think I want to stick in here right now. It does have to do with, not directly, but it's going to lead to how we fight back on this. But if there have been concerning things in the past, I would say that this jumps up and trumps them all. not that quick turn of phrase, right? Trumps. Okay. And what it is, the headline, and you may have seen this, but maybe you haven't, and we'll talk about it anyway for a minute. It says leftists and never-Trumpers begin compiling lists of Trump supporters. Okay, now they're compiling lists of these supporters. Okay, let me read here a little bit, and then we're going to talk about it. Left-wing Democrats and never-Trump Republicans appealed Friday for assistance in compiling lists of Trump supporters that could be held accountable for supporting President Donald Trump after the election. Democratic Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted, "Is anyone archiving these Trump sycophants for when they try to downplay or deny their complicity in the future? I foresee decent probability of many deleted tweets, writings, photos in the future." Michael Simone, who describes himself as a former staff member in Barack Obama's administration, replied in the affirmative, linking to what he called the Trump Accountability Project. "Yes, we are," he says, "the Trump Accountability Project," and he gives blah, blah. "Every administration staffer, campaign staffer, bundler, lawyer who represented them, everyone." Goes on to say the database at the site includes a list of federal judges appointed by the president. Others also tweeted to announce the project. "We're launching the Trump Accountability Project to make sure anyone who took a paycheck to help Trump undermine America is held responsible for what they did." Jennifer Rubin, Washington Post columnist and never-Trumper, tweeted that anyone challenging the 2020 election results should not only be disqualified from holding public office, but ostracized from society. Any Republican now promoting, or any R, I guess she means Republican, now promoting rejection of an election or calling to not, I don't know, it must be a misprint here, to follow the will of voters or making baseless allegations of fraud should never serve in office, join a corporate board, find a faculty position, or be accepted into polite society, she said. "We have a list." Prior to the election, some left-wing commentators called for a South Africa-style Truth and Reconciliation Commission for Trump supporters. If you're interested in that, just Google that, and you'll find out what they're talking about. It goes on. Okay, that's about all you need to know. So they are compiling a list. What does this sound like, folks? This is Stalinist and Maoist. This has taken our political discourse into an entirely new area. This has jumped many steps into a Marxist, communist-driven type of retaliatory stance on the part of the Democrats. Now, where this fits in with what we were going to talk about is, first off, you see how dangerous this is. People, so many people say, well, the two sides, they're not the same. They're about the same. What's the worst that could happen, if Biden got in? Well, those people are people who haven't paid attention when they've lived under a Democrat administration. And how many of that are those who vote, right? How many people who vote that don't pay attention? How many people who went, the day before the election going, I'm not sure which one I'm going to vote for, These are the people deciding our elections, and these are the people that we have to target. Now, I don't mean target in a bad way like they mean it. What I mean is the true believers on that side were not going to change. But the people who decide the elections, those quibblers in the middle, or those people who really do hold conservative values, but for whatever reason, they didn't like Trump's tone, they didn't like the fact that he did this or did that or whatever. He just wasn't nice enough. And after all, shouldn't we just all be nice because we can nice our way to whatever we want, right? These are idiotic people. These are people. Well, first off, they're uninformed, so they're ignorant. But secondly, they're just stupid too often. Can they be turned? A lot of them can, and this is where we have to come into it. I'm going to save the bulk of what I'm talking about, how we fight back in the next one, but this is the first step. You can go to Breitbart, or I'll put the link down here if I get a chance, on this article that I just read from. This is a perfect thing to take to those friends of yours to spread around. If you're on social media, then do it. And you know what? Social media is the battleground now. I'm not a big Facebooker. I don't even check my Facebooks anymore. I know that I have a couple up there for the books and things. I don't do that like I should. Many do, and this is where a lot of the conversation is happening. So if you're on social media, make the most of it. Use this article. Use this article in talking about it on your social media, but then also with your close friends, with those friends, and the way that those quibblers, those ones that are in the middle, that they're just not quite sure. Yeah, I believe in the people should do what's right, but I just don't like the harsh attitude, that comes from the right. The harsh attitude that comes from the right comes from anger at what's happening and fear of what might happen. And because these people don't know, this is why they think that nice can save the day. So use this, take this, learn this, read about this, and bring it up in a soft way with the people that you know. Bring it up to as many as you can, and say, I just can't believe what. Did you hear what the Democrats are thinking about doing? I'm surprised. That really worries me. And they'll say, well, no, I didn't. What? And then tell them about this, and then take that next step. You're gonna have to do some of their thinking for them. Okay, we know that. Okay, but doing their thinking for them now beats the heck out of fighting a war later on if we can help it. So do their thinking for them when you say and you explain this what they're doing. And I'm sure your friend will say, "Oh, well, I don't, I don't know, but what's going to happen?" Go to the next step and say, "This is what happened during the communist revolutions. This is exactly what happened." Okay, keeping lists, retaliating against those who supported the other side, and retaliation only starts at these things. Retaliation begins at kind of social ostracism. Where it goes from there is prosecution, destruction of lives, imprisonment. We have seen that. We have seen the left try to go after these people. Mike Flynn, ring a bell? And help your friends understand this. Okay, this is the first step in how we fight back. And for those who really care about this, this is certainly not too much to ask. You have to get out there. We all have to get out there. Share this with as many people as we can, and start making converts. Start converting these people. Now, you can't convert people with argument. Okay, be a fisherman. You remember, Christ said, "Be a fisher of men." He didn't say, "Be a hunter of men." What the fishing aspect is you throw something out there that's a lure. Okay, you throw it and it attracts the fish. Okay, That's the same thing you want to do here. You don't get out there and hunt them down and go blazing at them. That drives them away. Okay, and you don't want to. Well, I won't go into that metaphor anymore, but you understand what I mean. Throw out the bait, get them on the hook, and reel them in. That's what we need to do, and we need to get started right now. So I'm going to cover more in the next one about how we fight back, but this is the first step. So you all remember, we need a reversion. We don't need to keep things the way they are. We don't need conservatism. We don't want to hold this line right here because the line is in the wrong place. We need to take that line back. We need to push that other team back, get back down, towards the goal where we want. And that's why we need an American reversion, and we need you to be a part of it. So please share this, like it, comment, talk about it, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.